Hello, everyone, and welcome to the channel Shelly's Millions. In today's live video, we'll be going over our 2024 year in review, talking about budget, finance, money, credit cards, all of that fun stuff. I hope that everyone is looking forward to the new year and had a really great um, Christmas and Thanksgiving. All right. And as always, if you guys have a topic that you want me to cover, just drop it in the chat and we can kind of switch gears. All right. And I know that Debbie is going to want to know the movie review, so we might as well just get that out of the way. I know that the really big ones this week are going to be Nosferatu, A Complete Unknown, and probably Mufasa, I believe. Okay. So let's see. Yeah, it took me a little bit to get everything set up this morning, but I am live today. I've been working a lot on Sundays. I think this is the first time I've been able to go live in almost a month. So thank you guys for putting up with me through that. Okay, and we are going to look at Deadline box office movie grosses. That's not what I want. Okay. This is from 3 days ago. It's probably going to be similar. Hi, Alex. Alex, I was just thinking about you. Well, actually, probably the last time I went live. How you have bad news that could set you back financially. Your old early 2000s Nissan is overheating and the check engine light is needed. A new car is needed and you're broke. All right, so we'll ask a couple things on that really quickly. Number one is, have you checked to see why it's overheating? Have you had at AutoZone and what's the other one that's like AutoZone? Pep Boys? Any of those places, you can take your car and they will usually read the code for you for the check engine light, so you don't have to buy like the gadget that does it for you. You can just ask the guys at AutoZone or Pep Boys if they'll come out and read it for you. The second thing is, how much is it going to be to get it repaired? Because it might make sense. 2000, we're getting it. Car's 25 years old next year in a couple of days. So it might just be time to look into getting a new one. Also, I just want to encourage all of us, right? I know like we don't all have time for a side hustle. I barely have time for a side hustle. Work is crazy, work is stressful, but try and see if there's any ways to increase your income. I finally got off all the mechanic said you needed a brand new head gasket and it's going to be a couple $1,000s to fix. Repairing it's still cheaper than even getting a used car. Yes, that's true. Okay, I do have one more tip, and it's interesting. It comes from me, kind of from my mom moving in. When my mom moved in, and I don't know if this is realistic, like, I don't know if even I would be able to do this, but when my mom moved in with me, she sold her truck, which was a 1997, but she sold it for $1,000. She kept good care of the truck mechanically. She just wasn't driving. Cindy, changes to Social Security. It's going up just a tiny bit. But I used to work with a coworker, and he said that he would always go to Florida. He would fly to Florida. Now, I know that now we're already talking a plane ticket, but he would fly to Florida and he would buy a vehicle from an older person that he knew had been taking good care of it. Good morning, Michael. That he knew had been taking good care of it, and he would drive it back to California. He lived in California, but he knows that a lot of retired people live in Florida. So I guess what I'm saying is maybe investigate if you could find an older person who's ready to get rid of their car, who's taking good care of it. But be careful. My mom was almost scammed on Facebook with a sob story about why somebody needed to get rid of their car, that they were going into the army, and that they needed to get rid of it right away, and that she just needed to pay these shipping fees. So, as always, like, be careful, but there are still deals out there to be had. And then, Alex, one of the reasons, right, why I love finance is try to see if you qualify for any 0% interest rate credit card offers, right? If times are tight, like, I don't think that people should go into credit card debt, but car repairs, you need a car to get back and forth to work, especially if you live in Southern California. It is an option, especially with insurance and everything, to see about carpooling for a little while, taking public transit. But I think, once you start driving in LA, it's hard to go back. And they have the Expo line. It works perfectly fine. Um, but but I know how important it is to have a car in California, and it would be unrealistic if I was trying to say that wasn't important. So with that in mind, I do think that that's kind of what a credit card would be for, is to put, like, a car repair on there. But please, please see if you qualify for, like, any 0% interest rates on, like, perhaps a new credit card, and or call your current credit card company if you have one, and see if they have any promotional offers. And while you're on the phone with them, and by promotional offers, I mean, like, pay 0% interest for the first 12 months, pay 0% interest for the first 18 months, pay 1.99% interest for the first 12 months. What you're looking for, if you do have to put the repair on a credit card, is a very, very, very low interest rate on a credit card. And then try and side hustle your way into paying that off really, really quickly. One of the things that I finally started doing, my mom is like blown away by this, is I finally started selling some of my things on eBay. And you guys are maybe not going to believe this. This is a flyer, okay? It is a flyer from a rave festival called Nocturnal Wonderland. This is from 1996, which I read online is the second year ever for Nocturnal Wonderland. I have two of these. I sold one on eBay for $30, and it sold the very first day that I put it up. So I'm thinking that I sold it for not quite enough money. So I don't know. I want to kind of keep this one, but like, for what? Okay, then the other one that I sold, oh, where'd that one go? The other one that sold pretty quickly, oh no, I thought I had a second one. Where is that? Didn't I have two of those too? What did I do with that? Oh, okay, hold on. Maybe not. I thought I had a second one. Well, either way, I had another one that I sold for like $20. And it's literally just this old flyer that I dug out of my flyer bin. From when I used to go to clubs a lot when I was younger. And my mom was like, "Why is that worth so much? Why is this piece of paper worth so much?" And it's because, like, you had to actually be there to, like, be handed one of these flyers. So the only way that someone would have this is if they were, like, standing outside of the right club to get it. Where the heck? I guess I don't have another one. So I had one. That's too bad. I had one for this festival called the Electric Daisy Festival, EDC. And I sold that one for $20. So Nocturnal Wonderland and EDC, I just sold $50 worth of flyers from, like, kind of like it's not exactly a junk drawer, but this was stuff that I had for my mom's that I moved over. So see if you have things to sell. See if you can pick up like a side hustle. Okay, let's see. Rocky's wishing that you get the funds in the new year. Cindy wants to know about the changes to Social Security. That's something that maybe we can look up together in a second. There's certain months and times of the month that are better to purchase cars. Yes, that's true. And I've heard it's at the end of the month when they're trying to like make their quotas, they're more likely to do a deal. Also, since your car is older, you might want to consider looking into something like an I don't even know if they make these anymore, but a Nissan Versa, a Kia Forte, what's the other one that's pretty affordable? Toyota used to make a Yaris. I'm not sure if they still make the Yaris anymore, but it might be time to figure out how you can up your income and try and get the new car. Alex, do you still have the roommate? How is that going? Is it possible to have a conversation with them and say, "Hey, um, unfortunately, I need to up the amount of rent I'm charging you. Could you say," and have this honestly be true, right? I know that you're living with one of your friends right now, so, don't mess over your friends, but, have utilities turned out to be a little bit more than you thought they were? Has it just been a little bit more of an inconvenience that maybe a little extra money might offset? Um, and then groceries is a lot of times somewhere where you might be able to cut your bill. All right, Anthony says, "Your dad offered to give you his black Porsche 911, 2002 model, but you said no, too expensive to maintain. He's retired and hardly drives now." That's kind of cool, but yeah, the insurance on that's gonna need, probably premium gas for sure, and repairs on a Porsche are gonna be really, really expensive. I am starting to read books about because I'm 47, I'll be 48 next year. So I'm probably past half of my life at this point. My best friend and I were just talking about this. We're probably past half of our lives. So as I was decluttering my house, preparing to move my mom in, one of the things that I read about was preparing like, the first half of your life is kind of about accumulating things, like the memories where I collected those flyers. And then the second half is about kind of paring down and winding down. Um, and one of the books that I have read this year that I really enjoyed was Die with Zero. And your dad can't take it with him. Could he sell that Porsche to somebody that would enjoy it, that really wants it, that would really value it? And if your dad was gonna give it to you, could he give you the money for it so that you could invest it or so that you could enjoy it so that your dad could watch you enjoy the money, right? Because if he gives you the car after he passes, um, he's not gonna get to watch you enjoy the money, and that's a lot of times what parents want. So, Cindy says that she likes the Toyota RAV4. Yeah, and I like my Prius C. It's a hybrid, so it's pretty good on gas, but a lot of times, like, the entry level models, they'll have, like, a promotional rate of, like, $199 a month. So they still have and I mean, that's kind of been like the intro rate for a car for a while. So maybe if you can find a deal where it's like that and then do financing. I think I've told this story before, but I was between 2 cars when I bought my Prius C, and I wanted just like the entry level Toyota Corolla, but my car like literally wouldn't drive off the lot when it was time. So from the lobby of the car dealership, I called and I asked how much it was to insure each of the cars, and my car was gonna be, like, $10 less a month to insure, and that, like, kind of offset the price difference, so I was like, "Okay, I'll go ahead and get the Prius C." Okay, Joel says alright, Joel's a mechanic. Joel says, "I don't get a Kia. They burn so much oil and they don't last as long as a Toyota would. I love my little Toyota. It's strong and has high miles." Yes, 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 yes. So, Toyotas and Hondas, I think, are the ones that last the longest in terms of new cars. Hi, Infinity. Oh, it's so good to see everybody at the end of the year. All right. Anthony says he likes it, so he'll just keep it and drive it when needed, so at least he can get around for your dad. Yeah. And that's kind of where my mom was at when she let her car go when she moved in with me and that's probably one of our biggest hurdles is figuring out how to like make sure that she still can get out without me. So we're trying to get her set up with like access and some services like that. Okay. Infinity says, speaking of some financial news. Oh, Joel, remind me to ask you about your high yield savings account because I wanted to share that data with everybody. Okay, Infinity says, speaking of some financial news, did you hear how Nissan is going out of business because they're in terrible shape? They're going to try to merge with Honda. I had not heard that yet. Um, that's really interesting. I've heard for a long time though that the best car brands are Toyota and Honda. And you guys know that I just don't want a Tesla, even though I test drove it and I didn't exactly like it's called regenerative braking. You just drive with one foot. I thought it was really weird, but certainly, at least here in California, lots of people drive a Tesla. Speaking of Tesla, okay, it's been so long. I have so many things to share with you guys. So my coworker's texting me. We're going to ignore that, at least for the next hour. So, I got my mom a Tesla Cybertruck for Christmas, but it's not what you're thinking. P.S. Mom, this box is yours too, so you're probably gonna need to come get this in a second. And well, not a second, but okay. So I tried to trick my mom and tell her that we got her a real Cybertruck, but really what I got her was a remote control Tesla Cybertruck. And it comes with the little quad. My mom does actually like. So I think we're gonna make a video of this soon. I don't know when that's gonna get out, but it's gonna be called "I bought my mom a Tesla Cybertruck for Christmas." Okay, so I love a Tesla, but Toyotas and Hondas are kind of the cars that stay out of the shop the most and last the longest. Okay, so Joel says your savings account is now 3.8%. So with the Fed lowering rates, you're making less money now. You're actually kind of concerned. They're going to lower it so low, it's just going to be 2%. Now that could be true, but Joel, we got to remind both of ourselves, right? Because we both opened our savings accounts at the same time that we just had our money, even at 2%, that's still higher than a regular savings rate. So my savings rate, and mine is with American Express. So it has gone into, one second. It is now down to, mine's also 3.8%. But I have gotten this year almost a total of $200 extra since I started saving. And that's not like crazy, I'm going to get rich and retire money, but that's free money that I didn't have before I put it in that savings account. I think I shared that I was with Wells Fargo because that's where my mortgage is. And so for the same savings, I would get like 10 cents. And now at least like it's a couple, it's dollars, it's not pennies. So I still feel good about that, even if it's 2%. That's still better than at a regular bank where it's not a high yield savings account. Because I remember that we were talking about like, there is a sense, and I don't know why that this is, but when you've had your money in a traditional savings account at the bank you've been at forever, there's kind of a sense that it feels like, oh, I'm losing my money when you're just literally moving it over to a different savings account. And I feel like you were kind of experiencing that feeling also. But I still have access to my money. I can get it pretty quickly. And yeah, it's not bad. You do believe around this year you made almost the same as me, maybe just a tad bit more, around like $350 in interest only. So that is so awesome. I knew I had a lot of big purchases this year, so I knew I was going to be having the money in savings for a short amount of time. Then I put it on a 0% interest rate credit card. I actually opened a credit card that gave you like $300 back if you hit a certain minimum spend. But with my mom moving in this year, I knew I was going to buy a lot of furniture, but I only had the money in the savings account for a pretty short period of time. I put it in there right before I bought the furniture. I opened the credit card, hit the minimum spend to get the $300 cash back. Then I immediately transferred the money back out of the savings account so that I could pay off the credit card in full. So that was kind of what I did with that. And now, though, I would also like to share just as inspiration for you guys, right? This is something that I'm really happy about. If I wanted to, I have enough money in my savings account to pay off the remaining balance of my house. Now, I don't my mortgage isn't that high, um, but I'm not going to pay off the house. Even though hi, Ben. Ben, we gotta show you a few things. All right, Ben. So I've been actually selling my stuff on eBay. Um, we've got a Cleopatra newsletter here. What is this? Okay, Cleopatra newsletter. A Control Factory flyer. I can't remember if you used to live in Los Angeles. But so these are some of the clubs down here. Velvet, is that appropriate for this? I don't know. So I started selling some things, a club called Perversion, $5 bass. I started actually a skinny puppy postcard. What in the world? So I started getting all of these things. What is this? Rave Rats 2, 1997. Who played it? Vitamin D, Jason Blakemore, Kelly Revers, Jimmy Jesse, Mojo J Splat. All right. I sold a Nocturnal Wonderland flyer from 1997 for $30 on eBay. Super light, super easy to ship. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to sell this one or not. Okay. So, yeah. You never know. And this is why, though, sometimes I hold on to too much stuff because it's like, oh, what if that's worth something someday? Okay. And then Sean says, Happy New Year. Okay. The reason why I'm not going to pay off my house, even though I have enough in, thank you, Sean. The reason why I am not going to pay off my house, even though I could, is because it's making more money. Even at 3.8% interest, my interest rate on my house is only 2.75%. And then they also say that inflation is at least 3% this year, right? So, one, they say you shouldn't pay off your house fast if kind of your interest rate is lower than the rate of inflation, right? Because like today's dollars wouldn't go as far. So it doesn't make sense to pay it off early. But then, two, because the interest rate in my savings account is 3.8%, but the interest I'm paying on my mortgage is 2.75%, I make more money keeping the balance in my savings account and earning the interest there. So I'm earning more interest than I'm spending on the mortgage, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm going to continue to just try and put my money where it's going to work for me the most. So for me, that's keeping it in the savings account and not paying off my house early. So without paying off the house early, I've got about 2 more years on it to go. Okay, Ben says, "Well, the money isn't lost. It's just moved to a different account. They don't charge for a fee to transfer money between banks." No, they don't. They don't. So you can just get the money out. But it feels like, okay, I have this money in this bank that I'm familiar with. And then a lot of times the higher yield savings account, like I had only heard of American Express in terms of credit cards. I didn't know that they had like a way, I didn't know that they offered a high yield savings account. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think Joel opened his high yield savings account with Ally Bank, and they are an online only bank. And so it might feel a little like, oh, I can't go into a branch and ask them about my money. But yeah, so if I want money out of my American Express savings account and that I need to pay something off with, um, I have a bill that's due January 8th, and I'm not using money out of my savings account. I just like I know I have one due on January 8th. Now Monday's or not Monday, but the first is a holiday. So I would want to initiate the transfer from my American Express to my regular bank on January 2nd. And it's normally going to take 3 to 4 days to hit my bank account. So it would either hit my bank account January 3rd or January 7th. That might be a little bit too close. Um, but that's when I would transfer the money to make sure that it was back in my regular account so that I could pay my credit card bill. And there's probably a way to link my American Express savings account so that I can just pay it directly from that account, but I have not done that yet. Okay. Pinky says, "Hi everyone. Everyone had a nice Christmas. Happy upcoming New Year. May it start off and stay on a good note." Yeah, I totally agree. Okay. Um, Also, let's read Pinky's little profile picture. It says, "You are totally replaceable at work. You're not replaceable at home. Home is your real life. Keep that perspective always." Here, here. Okay. Now, Ben says, "I will be starting a new band called Crucifixes for Babies. It'll be a cross between Marilyn Manson and some Joy Division with a touch of Nine Inch Nails." I like that. I'm into that. Let me know if you ever, please reach out to me on Instagram at Shelley's_millions. If there's ever topics that you guys want me to talk about, things that you want me to invite me to, I would love to see you play if you're in Los Angeles. Maybe even I could make a trip up north, but that would take a lot of planning in advance. Okay. Like 9 hours ago, I started to talk about movie grosses because I know Debbie was going to ask. It wasn't 9 hours ago, but let's see here. Why is there all these just ads? Okay. Now, this is from December 26th. So, this is the day after Christmas. And I think Christmas, it tends to really skew heavily towards kids' movies and family movies. Okay. Mufasa may have entered this holiday season as a lamb, but he remembered who he was on Christmas Day as Disney's Lion King prequel rebounded at the box office. But the critter wasn't just buried by the king of the jungle, but an art house blood-sucking vampire, and Focus features First Day of Nosferatu, which did 11.55 million. Thanks to fierce competition, we're bound to see a wealthier 5-day stretch than imagined. While Disney sees Mufasa as 50 million plus from Wednesday to Sunday, some have an outlook of north. Let's see if there's like updated movie grosses. Sorry, guys. Because we should start to have like the weekend results now. 50 highest movies. No. Wicked. Oh, 4 hours ago. This is probably the one we want. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. You guys know that means to please like the video. Sonic and Mufasa brawl over the number one. Nosferatu feast on 40 million plus, and a complete unknown is rocking a $23 million 5-day post-Christmas box office update. Okay, Sunday. Um, Lion and Land Critter continue to go at like an episode of Mutual Ohama's Wild Kingdom this weekend, with each studio screaming that they're number one. If you look at the standard 3-day weekend, it's Paramount's Sonic the Hedgehog 3, while Disney's Mufasa is looking at an estimated 37 million. However, on the 5-day measure, which saw the Lion King prequel rise from the dust on Christmas Day and December 26th in its dailies, Mufasa takes the lead with 63.7 million. We're still waiting on Disney's official numbers, but not much has changed since yesterday. Saturday was a close call for both family movies, with Sonic 3 seeing 13.5 million and Mufasa an estimated 13.3. However, it wasn't a Christmas of cannibalization, as there was room for 4 family movies: the Thanksgiving holdovers of Universal's Wicked and Disney's Moana 2. For all the concern that similar demo movies could each eat each other up, here's a scenario of all boats rise, with the 3-day overall weekend at 161 million, which is 43% over the New Year's Eve weekend of last year and 56% ahead of the same time frame at the tail end of 2022, when Avatar: The Way of Water was soaking up most of the business. That said, the overall Christmas week of December 20th through 26th amounted to 263 million per Box Office Mojo, which was down from last year's holiday week of 279 by 6%. Note, Christmas fell on a Monday last year, which feels more of a 4-day weekend. The last time Christmas fell on a Wednesday was in pre-COVID 2019, when Disney Lucas's Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker rallied all movies to a massive week of 485.5 million. Okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to read all of that verbatim, but we did. It's okay. All right. Let's see here. See if there's Prince Ali. Hello. Okay. Your girlfriend made you see Wicked with her, and you're not really into musicals at all, but you really enjoyed the movie. I should give musicals a chance now. Yes. And here's something funny. So I did see Wicked. My mom has not come with me yet. I'm sure I will have her come see it with me, because I would like to see it a second time. I was working in Arizona when I saw it, and I think I fell asleep through part of it, quite honestly. Either that or it was so engrossing. I've read the book and I've seen the play in person. And a lot of times I don't like movies that were musicals first. And honestly, I really like the book on this, but I didn't love the musical when I saw it. But I saw it with somebody who didn't like musicals, and they were pain in the behind the whole time we were watching it. So that might be it. Maybe I need to see it on the stage again. But I did really enjoy the movie. So I'm glad you did. And yeah, always give it a chance. What I like to do, I know this is not so I like to go by Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go to Rotten Tomatoes. I'll show you what I do. I know this is not great, but I'm being honest here. Okay. So I like to look at the ratings for movies in theaters. So I'm not familiar with Sonic the Hedgehog. The little picture of the tomato on the left, that's what critics think of the movie. But the little number on the right, that's what audiences think of the movie. So for example, critics really liked Nosferatu at 86%. But the people who actually watched it in the theaters, only 75%. I'm not familiar with The Brutalist or The Damned. Now, Mufasa. Mufasa did not have a good rating from the critics, but 88% of the people who saw it like it. Now, let's go over here to Wicked. Sorry. Actually, Wicked and A Complete Unknown are both actually pretty good examples of this. So, Wicked had an 88% from critics and a 95% from audiences. So for me, I really like to see the audience number, not people that are paid to review movies professionally, but just regular people like myself. And it's funny because I work in a theater, so you might think that, like, maybe I have more refined taste and maybe I would go with the critics, but I don't. Like, I'd like to know what the public thinks. 95% positive rating on Wicked. Now, a complete unknown, 78% from critics. So the critics, they like it. It's not bad, but it's not even over an 80%, right? So if this were school, this would be like a C. 78% would be like a C, and over 80% would be like a B, and over 90% would be an A. So it got a C, 78%. This is the Timothy Chalamet? I don't know how to say his last name. Timothy Chalamet. Chalamet? I don't know. He's Bob Dylan in this movie. Critics gave it a 78%. They didn't love it, but audiences gave it a 96%, so even higher than Wicked. And I guess the reason why I'm so focused on that one right now is because we are playing that at my movie theater, and as people are coming out, they're just clapping on it. Um, so yeah. Okay. What else did I want to talk about this year as we wind everything up? It's time to do a new vision board. Should I pull out last year's vision board and let you guys know what we accomplished and what we didn't accomplish? I think so, because we have the time to do it, so we might as well. Like the video. Okay. Let me give you a quick update on my mom moving in. So my mom's 77. She just gave up her car. She gave up her whole house that she lived in. And she now lives with me. And I don't quite know how she feels about that. Some days she says she likes it. She likes that there's a heater here, but I think she thinks that I'm mean to her. But I'm not mean to her. She's mean to me, and then I'm snappy back. If she snaps at me, I do snap at her back. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that when I made the video with her about her finances, she mentioned that I think it was $71 or $72 a month for her cell phone bill. And that was probably the number one thing. All right. Also, Alex, if you're still in here, cut your cell phone bill. Switch to Mint Mobile. I feel like maybe I should actually just go ahead and drop my Mint Mobile link in the chat. They usually have a promotion where you get like the first 3 months. All right, now we're gonna do all of this. Where you get like your first 3 months for $15. I'm gonna switch to the thing. So you get your first 3 months for $15, which is a pretty good deal. And that's going to lower your cell phone bill. So if you're somebody who your cell phone bill is like in the $70 range, if you're still paying off a phone, I'm not quite sure how that works. Both my mom and I, our cell phones, they're paid for. Now, you can also combine this. Let me see if I can find mine. Nope, of course not. Of course, I'm not logged in. Okay. But I'm really liking Mint Mobile as the process. I was trying to find my referral code. I'll try and pin it in the comments afterwards. But also, Rakuten, which is also something that I'm using that I like, looks like they have a deal. So you get $2.50 cash back. That does not seem like that much, but okay, this is save $110 on the Samsung A15 plus a year of Mint Mobile. Ooh, get $200 off the new Samsung plus a year of unlimited for $15 a month. Get $100 off the Samsung GS24 plus a year of unlimited for $15 a month. Cut your cell phone bill down to $15 per month for new subscribers. This is interesting. These deals actually look better. Now let me see if I can. I'm gonna get you guys at least my Rakuten referral code. But then I'm also going to have a Mint Mobile referral code. So you want to pair those two things together, and that's what I did when I first switched to Mint Mobile. Is I think at the time it was $5 cash back on Rakuten, then $15 a month for your first 3 months. Then they do want you to like pay up front for the unlimited plan for the next 12 months. So then it's 360. 360. It's $30 a month. Yeah, 360 for the next 12 months. So 360 up front. Okay. Let me see here. So anyway, I'm really liking that, and my mom is in the process of switching. So my mom's not going to have like a $72 cell phone bill anymore. That's going to put an extra $30 into her pocket. P.S. Mom, my mom is she's not very concerned, but she does not want to pay for access. Access is like the car that will come pick you up and like take you grocery shopping or whatever when you're older. It's $4 each way though, and my mom doesn't want to pay it. But even on what you're going to be saving on your cell phone, it'll be slightly more than 3 trips. You could take 3 trips for what you're saving, and that would be almost a trip a week. So 30 divided by 8 because it's $4 each way. That's literally almost 4 trips right there. So my mom doesn't want to pay the money, but she could pay, like with what she's saving, she could go on Access 4 times, which is pretty much once a week. So your savings on your cell phone would offset that. Also, what else did we talk about? Oh, car insurance and gas, and just like we talked about, my mom kind of is wanting a mobility scooter type of thing. I think that the roads are so torn up in Los Angeles, I'm not sure that's going to work. But let's just say that the scooter is $3,000, right? There's some that are cheaper, there's some that's more expensive. We're just going to use this as an example. Divided by 8, which is how much it costs to use Access both ways, the pickup and the drop off. That would be 375 trips, plus the extra 3.75 trips that she can take from the money she's going to save on her cell phone. So, I mean, my mom's not going to go every day. So let's divide that by 52. That would be 7.2 trips. That would be literally a trip every day. So 375. Let's say, let's divide that by 4. She could go almost 100 times. And I feel like that's probably realistic. Okay. Pinky says she has a Verizon wireless prepaid plan, unlimited everything. I know I can get less expensive plans, but I know the Verizon network is reliable. You travel for house sits, so reliability is important. So I totally agree, right? However, I feel like this is one of the things where maybe the cell phone companies have like the wool pulled over our eyes. And that was kind of always my mom's reason for not wanting to switch before. When my mom lived in the trailer, she said the trailer it had metal walls. She's like, Shelly, it has metal walls that like messes with the connectivity and yada yada. She's like, I don't think Mint Mobile will work in her trailer. And she may have been right on that. But I will tell you that I have now been with Mint Mobile for over a year. Now, my reception is fine at work, but every once in a while, it just takes a little while to connect. But I think that's my building. Like everybody's phone doesn't want to connect. So we kind of have to be on the Wi-Fi at work, but that's true for everybody. It's not just Mint Mobile customers. Then I even took Mint Mobile International and it worked fine internationally. I don't really notice it being slow or anything anywhere. So I personally, right? Everybody has to make their own decisions. I personally am really liking Mint Mobile and it's $30 a month. And that's everything. They do, after that introductory rate, they do want you to pay the whole year up front though. So sometimes like $360 up front for 12 months isn't gonna be doable for everybody. But if it is, I did really, really like them. Now, why does Ibotta have an offer? Also on Mint Mobile, click to earn $10 cash back. What's their offer? Okay, maybe Ibotta's the way to go. So you have to interesting. Because I have an Ibotta as well. Let's go share that with you guys as well. So I always shop the deals on top of deals on top of deals. Well, I don't have any money in my Ibotta right now. Where's my refer a friend? We'll just share all of these. Copy link. Okay. And then Pinky, you're saying that your plan is $60 a month and there's no taxes and crazy fees because it's prepaid. Yeah, I think 60 is probably kind of the average, but really, 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 I've really, really liked Mint Mobile. And they're on the T-Mobile network. So that is something that I've done to save money this year as I switched to Mint Mobile. And so far I've been really happy with them. And again, I used a Rakuten deal when I signed up to get an extra $5 off. But it looks like right now the better deal would be to go with Ibotta and get $10 off. So yeah. Oh, interesting. It's not good if you build your shopping cart before you tap shop on Ibotta. That's so interesting. Okay. I'm taking another sip of coffee. That means to please like the video. Anyways, that was the number one comment on my mom's video, is that she was spending too much on her cell phone, and we are taking care of that. What else did I say I was about to do? Oh, look at our vision board, which we're not making the vision board today. Like maybe we'll do that the first week of January. I don't think we did very much of it. Certainly not since I updated you guys last time on it. Okay, this is upside down. Okay, so let's see if any of the pictures came true. No. Well, Tesla's still on there. Okay, this is a hot mess. I do need to paint my door. Okay, my house is Spanish style, so I like all the Spanish style. Let's not pay attention to the pictures because they're a hot mess. Okay, lose 20 pounds. If we change that to gain 20 pounds, then I hit that goal. And I really wanted to focus on my health. It hasn't happened. I want to talk about that for a second, actually. So I actually I'm experiencing something called trigger finger, and I'm actually going to be going to the doctor for that on January 2nd. But I love my job. You guys know that. I've been there over 30 years. Right now, and you guys know this from me not going live as much these last couple weeks, my hours are not stable. And it's always kind of been okay, maybe one day you work a morning shift, and maybe the morning shift is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then maybe the next day the shift is 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. So it's always kind of been like that. Last night I did not get out until almost 3 a.m. 3 a.m. and I went in at 5. So that's a 10-hour shift. So one, that needs to change. Like the last movie I think got out at 12:40 a.m. So I would say normal to get out at a movie theater is about 20 minutes past that. So I did need to place a stock order, and I'm off today. So I had to go back and do the stock order. That took a little bit of time, but not till 3 a.m. It was largely the cleaning, and then somebody didn't feel well, so they went home early. So that's been kind of hitting us pretty hard when someone's not feeling well, because even though I'm in management, essentially the job is kind of like a retail job, meaning I can't just, if I'm not feeling well, I can't just be oh, well, here's this pile of work. No, there's more work because I dropped stuff. Here's this pile of work. I'll just get to it Monday, right? Someone has to be there to open and close the door, to let the customers in, to make sure that they're safe, to help the staff. So you can't you can't call out sick unless you have coverage. So that's one of the things that's going on. And then our management team is just really small right now. So if I want to go to a party on Saturday night, but I normally work Saturday nights, then everybody else's schedule is different. And then my schedule is different. And it's pretty common, like to go to the doctor's appointment on Thursday, I asked for the day off. But then Thursday's normally a day I work, except for there aren't really, and this is the issue, I don't have any normal days off. So the times have always been, okay, maybe today it's a morning shift and maybe today it's a night shift. And I don't mind that at all. But what has been really hard that's been going on for about the last 2 years, and I feel like this is like slowly driving me a little loopy, is one day I'll have Wednesday off, the next week I'll have Thursday off, the next week I'll have Friday off, the next week I'll have Saturday off. There is no consistency at all to the days off. And I also think it's interesting because routine is important for old people. And my mom was just like, I don't know what day it is anymore. She was like, if my cell phone didn't tell me, I wouldn't know. But like, I don't have consistency in my schedule, even in the days off. And I bet you, if I asked my mom what my pre-pandemic schedule was, like she used to know. I used to always, always, always have Tuesday off, except for the last Tuesday of the month where it was inventory. And she knew that Tuesdays were a good day to make a doctor's appointment. I don't even know like what a good day to make an appointment is anymore. And that's been a little bit of a struggle. So it's really hard to focus on your health and make plans for anything, let alone like a consistent gym schedule when there's no consistency in your actual schedule. Okay, so in rant there. And I still love my job and I want to see them be successful, but having a consistent schedule would be very, very nice. Okay. Oh, okay. Also not dropping your push pins. We've lost half of our vision board. It's like we're ready for 2025. It's ready for some new pictures. Okay, so lose 20 pounds. No, I gained 20 pounds. Health is wealth. No, like my health is not better. I'm gonna say it's also not really worse, except for the extra weight is not great. Okay, lower blood pressure. That's over here on 17. Nope. Spend more time with mom. Number 18. Yes, because she literally lives with me. So I spend every moment pretty much where I'm not at work. I'm with my mom, except for like not right now. She does not want to she doesn't want to go live with me. Okay, anyway, play violin. No, I did that like twice. Change living room furniture. We did that. What is this? Sure. Woof. Okay. Change. Oh, no. Oh, number 2 was use cell phone less. I don't really think we did that either. Change living room furniture. I did that and I love my living room furniture now. Did this show up? Okay. Paint patio furniture. I did that. Number 5. 4 and 5. We did that. Make at least 4 YouTube videos. Nope. I've not made one single YouTube video. I did film one with my mom the other day. So maybe we can do that. Learn new skill for work. Accounting, YouTube, sales, or marketing. I didn't really do that either. Again, like I would like to take a class or something like that. And if you're going to commit to a class, you need to be able to commit to a time to do the class. And that's hard and your schedule is not consistent. Although I will say, if I enrolled in a class without consulting with my job, let's say all of a sudden I had school Monday, Wednesday, Friday morning, and I went to my job and I said, hey, I can't work Monday, Wednesday, Friday. They would allow that and they would encourage that. They'd be like, that's great. Okay, so that's good. Try a new activity. Sailing, jet skiing, whitewater rafting. Learn to back a boat into a lake. Nope, we did not do that. Travel somewhere new. Does Scottsdale, Arizona count? I don't think so because I didn't even sightsee at all when I traveled there. Take mom to half siblings, meet in Tennessee or the lake house. No. Now that was on the table this year for my mom, but my mom said that she did not feel like traveling. She said it was really hard on her the last time. Read at least 10 books. Yes, we have done that through Audible. And my favorite one was Die with Zero this year. Attend a conference. I did not do that either. There are a couple coming up that I would like to do next year, but I didn't do that. Invest in self. I always do that. So I'll put that. Vacation home or investment property. No. That one was probably a long shot anyway, because we're still working on the Shelley's Millions part of this. Take golf or tennis or pickleball. You guys, I love pickles. So, I guess that's for next year, pickleball. But we didn't do that either. I did call about golf lessons, but then they never really called me back. And the availability that I did have didn't match with theirs. Contribute the federal maximum to my 401k. I did not do that. Not quite making enough for that, but that's okay. All right. So of this, we did 18. Okay, of these 18 things, we did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We did 5. So that's slightly less than, a third. It's okay though. It's okay. We did some of it, and that's okay. We can put new things, maybe more realistic things on there. Also, next year on the vision board, I don't know if I really actually want an investment property or rent. Does it say rental property? Vacation home. I would like a vacation home. But that's not realistic for my financial situation right now. What I would also like is I would like to own a laundromat. I don't feel like I would be a good landlord. I don't. I have too much of a bleeding heart. So I think if somebody was like, "Oh, but I can't pay you rent for the rest of my life," I would be like, "Oh, it's okay, I understand." And you can't be like that as a landlord. You can't, and I don't have enough financial cushion where if I did have somebody sign a lease and then they just turned into squatters, that's kind of my big fear with renting a property. And I don't want to do Airbnb. I don't want to have something where I'd be cleaning it all the time. So to me, having a rental property sounds like a lot of work and a lot of liability. Whereas something maybe like a laundromat, maybe that would be okay. Also, guys, sometimes you guys are like, Shelly, brush your hair. But if I do that, it gets frizzier. And I was just looking at Carrie Bradshaw's hair from Sex and the City, because I kind of my hair kind of wants to be curly, but it's kind of not. Anyway, sorry, went off on a little tangent there. Okay, ready for the world. Said, I was so wrong. The missing $32 billion from the EDD UI scandal never came up as a campaign issue for Newsom and Kamala. You thought I would have become a media darling. Well, thank you. But no. And I'm probably glad, I don't have time right now to focus on YouTube the way that I want to. Okay, Pinky says, in the past, I had T-Mobile and Page Plus Cellular. Really like Page Plus. And they're on the Verizon network of towers. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Pinky says, retired life. You lose all track of days and time. I also rely on my phone and also TV shows to keep track of the days. So my mom, I'm teaching her about streaming. Okay. We watched Survivor together. It's been forever since I watched Survivor because I normally just watch streaming. But my mom knew that Survivor came on, I think, Wednesdays. But to get caught up between the time she moved, we had to watch it on all different days, just whenever I was home. So she was like, well, I don't know what day it is. She's like, why aren't we watching? Hi, Nina. Good to see you. She's good. My mom is good. I'm talking about her. She lives with me now. So she's getting used to streaming. She's getting pretty good at it. She's watching she's like, oh, you can watch Touched by an Angel. So that's what she's watching right now. Then together, Mr. Beast of YouTube fame, he's doing a show. It's kind of like a challenge show, 1,000 contestants. It's on Amazon Prime. It's called Beast Games. We're watching that together. She likes that. Now I'm doing the first year when Squid Games came out on Netflix, I'm not a horror person, right? It freaks me out, or violence or gore, but I can do a certain level of it. But the very first year that Squid Games came out, I was like, "I don't know if I can watch this." So I made my mom, like, sit down and watch the first episode, where then I determined, like, "Okay, it's not too scary and I can watch it." And so then I watched the rest of it by myself. But I'm having her watch the 2nd season of Squid Games with me, but I don't think she quite likes it. Um, so yeah, she's not able to rely on the TV shows as much because we mostly use streaming. And then Pinky says to me, being a landlord is too much stress and hassle. It's also harder to get rid of problem tenants. I'll never do the landlord business again. Yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. I think in the finance space, they tell you, "Oh, buy multiple properties, buy real estate." And I like, and maybe this would still be an option for me, although, like, I don't know. When I first bought this house, I've told this story before. I'll probably close it out like this. Ah, hi, Joy and Joy. Merry belated Christmas. Yeah, happy holidays, everyone. Same for me. Um, I missed you guys. All right. So, with this house, I was watching a lot of Property Brothers, right? And like in my look, if I do this, oh no, you can't see it. Um, this house still needs a lot of work. And I think when it's your own house that you're living in that you're not going to flip, I do think, especially if it's the first time, um, there is, like, a fear that you're gonna ruin it, right? And I don't wanna make it worse, which I feel like I have done in the past, like, "Oh, I can fix it. I can just watch a YouTube video and fix it." Nope, and then I feel like I do a lot of the hard work, and then I get stuck, and I don't have the right tool, and then I'm just over it because I've spent, like, 6 hours trying to do something that I don't know how to do, that it would take a professional 1 hour to do. Um, so then I've spent 6 hours doing the hard part, and then I get stuck, I don't have the right tool, and so then wind up calling in a professional anyway. But whatever, okay, I was watching a lot of Property Brothers, and they would show people, like, their dream house, and then they would be like, "But you can't afford your dream house." But they'd be like, "Here's this old beat up house that if you just renovate it, you can turn it into your dream house." And I still like that. I like the idea of buying a beat up house and renovate it, and I almost think it would be better to, like, buy a beat up house that you're not living in order to renovate it, because, like, then there's not as much emotional attachment to it. There might be financial attachment, but not emotional attachment, like, if it's your own house. PS, like, I bought this house with this weird door. Um, like, I didn't paint it like that with a weird paint job when you got your house that was beat up. My house is still beat up, um, and that's okay, but I used to think that I wanted to, like, buy houses, renovate houses. I might still wanna flip a house, like, it's fun to, like, play decorator, play interior designer. Like, I do think that would be cool, but you see on those shows even how they go over budget, right? And everything's so expensive now. And, like, then they say that there's not, that there's not really good deals to be had, especially here in California. So I think it's harder than when I was first watching those shows. Anyway, I don't think I wanna do that anymore. I don't think maybe buying and renovating and flipping, but I don't wanna buy it, renovate it, and rent it. Okay, Cindy says her husband has been remodeling your house for 27 years. He's working on the last room. He gets 80% of the area, offices, bedroom, man cave, you get 20% of the house area. Oh dear. All right. Well, if it keeps him happy. Okay. Um, and Cindy, since you're still in here, let's actually close out on, you had asked about Social Security changes. Social Security changes 2025. Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Ugh. No, 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 no. All right. Let's just read this first, AI generated thing, which is the cost of living adjustment, the COLA increase in Social Security will be small. The Social Security Administration announced a 2.5 cost of living adjustment for 2025. Um, so 2.5%, which is not very much. Now, this video says that the retirement age is being pushed back in 2025 to what? What is it? This is not great. But anyway, I don't know. Newsweek. Let's look at the Newsweek. Should we go to just the .government site? I don't know. No. Social Security. What to expect in 2025. What's new? As 2025 approaches, retirees and other Social Security recipients should be aware of several changes to benefits. Hang on, let me just make sure I'm sharing this really quickly. Okay. Joy and Joey on the house says, you put the cheapest of the cheap in just to get moving ready. Wish you would have done it differently, but money was not on our side at the time. Yeah, that's totally understandable. You think people assume they'll always have tenants and don't really think about if they can afford not having tenants for a long time. Multiple property ownership is expensive. Yeah. And even some of the financial YouTubers that I watch, like Graham Stephan, he's not doing property rental anymore. Like, I don't want to be a landlord. I wouldn't do well if someone stopped paying me rent and then like I had to fight that legal battle. And again, like I don't have the cushion to do that. I am interested in buying, like, there's a lot of people who have small businesses and their kids don't want the small businesses. But the parents are like too old to work. So I am interested in buying someone's successful small business, like a laundromat. And even the laundromat, like right by my house, there's an older Asian gentleman. I've never seen kids there. And he's wearing like a back brace now. I believe he's the owner. So I just need to go and I need to have a conversation with him and see if he'd be interested in selling it. And again, no financial cushion, but one of the YouTubers that I'm watching now, Cody Sanchez, she says, look, and I like you've heard this, right? Oh, seller financing, buy a business with $0 down. But she really believes that it can be done. I'm a little bit skeptical, but I guess kind of what it is you go and you say, hey, you know, I don't have the money to buy your business outright in cash. Maybe I have $10,000, which I would from my savings. I'll give you $10,000, and then I'll give you a percentage of of the profit for the rest of your life until and I'll make payments. So you make payments to them, and then you also give them a percentage of all the future profits. So in the end, if you do seller financing, they should wind up with more money than if they just sold it themselves. Okay, back to the Social Security article. Okay. As 2025 approaches, retirees and other Social Security recipients should be aware of several changes to benefits and services provided by the Social Security Administration, the SSA. In the coming year, how much Social Security a person will receive will change, along with certain rules regarding income limitations. There are also potential changes coming to customer services, and around 3 million people could become eligible for SSA retirement payments if lawmakers pass new legislation, which I think they did. So hold on one second on that. The Social Security Administration pays out retirement, survivor, and disability benefits to around 70 million Americans every month, and the changes will go into effect immediately. New benefit amounts. In October, the Social Security Administration announced a 2.5% boost to benefits issued in 2025. Every year, the cost of living adjustment, COLA, alters benefits administered by the SSA to keep payments in line with inflation. It's not even going to pay for eggs, but whatever. P.S. Eggs are $11.99 right now because I guess bird flu again. The first adjusted payments will be made in December for those who collect supplemental Social Security income, SSI, and in January 2025 for people who get regular Social Security payments. In 2025, the following applies. Maximum Social Security benefit for 2025, $4,18 per month. That's a lot. That's almost as much as I'm getting for my job, but that's if you're going to wait for full retirement age, I believe. Maximum Social Security benefit, including delayed retirement credits for 2025, is $5,108 per month. The maximum Social Security income benefit for 2025, maximum supplemental Social Security, is $967 for a single person and $1,450 for a couple. All right, guys, I do not know the difference between the supplemental security income, so SSI, and just Social Security. Okay. I'm sure my mom will explain afterwards. Okay. However, the majority of retirees do not receive the maximum amount, so payments can be lower than this amount. The estimated average monthly benefit for 2025 is $1,976. I can tell you guys that my mom gets less than that. Annual earnings limits. If you collect Social Security retirement payments but have not yet reached the full retirement age, 67, for those born after January 2nd, 1960, and are still employed, there are limits on how much you can earn before payments are reduced. For 2025, the following thresholds apply. Annual earnings, 23,400, monthly earnings, 1,950, annual earnings in the year you reach full retirement age, annual earnings limitation in the year 62,160. Monthly earnings limitation in the year you reach full retirement age, 5,180. If you work and are at full retirement age or older, you may keep your benefits no matter how much you earn. Okay. What happens next? Some other changes to SSA benefits and services could be on the way, although these are not set in stone. Longer customer service waits. While customer service standards at the SSA have improved recently, an outstanding budget request required to maintain its current service levels has not been approved, and the SSA has warned that customer service will decline if lawmakers do not pass the request in the upcoming budget negotiations. Going on to the next. Social Security Fairness Act. The Social Security Fairness Act has passed both chambers of Congress and will now expand access to benefits for nearly 3 million Americans. The bill passed. Once signed, the legislation will repeal two key provisions: the windfall elimination provision, the WEP, and the government pension offset, the GPO, and will be applicable to all Social Security benefits paid from January of 2024. The WEP reduces Social Security benefits for individuals who receive pensions from public sector jobs, such as those held by state and federal employees that did not require Social Security payroll tax contributions. This reduction applies even if these individuals contributed to Social Security through other employment and qualify for benefits. Currently, around 2 million beneficiaries are affected by this provision. The GPO reduces spousal or survivor benefits for retired federal, state, and local government workers who did not pay into Social Security funds through their payroll taxes. Approximately 800,000 retirees are impacted by this rule. Okay. All right, so that looks to be all the changes. Okay, beware of seller financing for anything. Wait, why, Pinky? Why? Because seller financing. So I think I want to do like buyer financing. What did she call it? Why am I not remembering the terminology now? Oh, dang it, I just said it. Okay, but beware of seller financing. Having a rental can be costly. You have a property in Vegas. Everything we get extra, we don't touch. Yeah. Think of SSI as the type of welfare. SSDI is the benefits that you fully paid into. Okay. Ready for the world says my. Oh, thank you. My decluttering was the greatest weight loss of all time. There's still some clutter over there, but I took it off up there. There's a little thing rolled up there. That's for reselling, and that I need to plug in. But we're getting there, guys. Every day it gets a little bit better. But yeah, you know what? Thank you for saying that. I lost way more than 20 pounds of clutter. I am 100% sure. The amount of shoes alone that I tossed out, um, the amount of shoes alone that I tossed out was incredible. Okay. Um, Regular SSI retirement, of course, is from the benefits you paid into. The WEP and the GPO sucks. That's going to hit you pretty hard. I thought the WEP will hit you. I thought that they were approving it to expand it and give you more. I thought this was supposed to be a good thing. All right. Let's talk about that more next time because we've already been going for an hour and 15 minutes today. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. It was really great to see almost everybody. We didn't see Debbie in here. But I think literally almost everybody else I think we saw, and that's always so nice because I do feel like this is an extended family. And it's a great way to close out the year by seeing all of you guys. I wish you just the greatest success and happiness going into 2025 and all throughout 2025. Next time when we talk, let's talk about those Social Security benefits. We'll look more into the WEP and the GPO because I thought that they were expanding benefits. I thought that they were correcting something that has been wrong for a long time. So I got to figure out where I went wrong with this, where I misunderstood, and then we'll look into it together next week. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching Shelly's Millions. I'll see you next time. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, everybody. Get rid of your clutter.